So, you did discover Bloodhorn's lair in the ruins of an ancient Surask temple. You attempted to ambush, but it failed as Bloodhorn detected your presence, launching a fierce battle where it displayed its magical prowess. Angus summoned the spirit of Thorold Ironfist, who dealt the final blow, but not before the battle alerted a group of Surask. They tried to save Bloodhorn by fleeing with one of its spines, intending to reactivate the temple's wards. A desperate chase ensued through the temple, with ancient defences reawakening. And after deactivating the temple's sentries, you caught your breaths, realising that they had fled with the spine using a transport via plants spell. So, as Bloodhorn's remains were harvested for valuable components, you decided to spend the day or two at the temple, discussing its various intricacies, and it became clear that this ancient structure might be a remnant of a highly advanced Surask civilization, predating even the Akteshi giants. The recent reactivation of the temple suggests that something or someone with deep knowledge of lost Surask magic was responsible. You discovered that the stone circles within the temple were teleportation pads once linked to other ancient sites. However, these pads had been set on an internal loop and disconnected from the broader network, preventing further exploration. With more locations of this ancient network potentially reactivating, you resolved to return to camp and continue your journey towards the necropolis in the Tanzin swamplands. As you trudged through the increasingly waterlogged terrain, eventually wading through waist-deep water, you found a place to camp and reconsidered your strategy for traversing the deep waters ahead. Angus proposed using his abilities to create boats from metal sheets with the Fabricate spell. Whitzel also mentioned a previous contact of his, Antazul, a boatmaker with whom he had parted on less than friendly terms, as a potential source of additional boats. It was decided that attempting to negotiate with Antazul might be the best course of action, with Angus's metal boats as a backup plan in any case. But the next morning, after several hours of trudging through the oppressive swamp, you arrived at a small clearing where a modest wooden hut stood on stilts above the swampy ground. The structure, crafted from local cypress trees and mangrove wood, exudes this sort of this rustic charm, with smoke curling from a chimney and trinkets made from bones, feathers, and dried herbs adorning the exterior. You can see bioluminescent fungi clinging to the wood, casting this eerie glow around the area. As you approach, you notice a weathered dock with a few boats tied to it. Maybe like 1, 2. Look like they've been there for quite some time. Bit waterlogged. And you also see a cluttered workbench nearby. I'll bring you over. Where is it? Here it is. Whitzel approaches the hut, knocks on the door, sound resonating through the clearing. The subtle sound of a carving knife from within stops, which you both notice, Kalali and Sayun. And after a moment, the door creaks open, revealing an elderly man with a weathered face, sharp eyes, his hair a tangled mass of white hairs curled up in these dirty dreadlocks, with a number of leaves and other bits of greenery kind of tangled within his hair. His skin is tanned, leathery from years of exposure to the elements. He wears this simple, rather practical clothing, patched but worn and clean. No, patched and worn, but relatively clean. As Whitzel steps forward, the tension in the air is rather palpable, and his eyes, this individual's eyes narrow, his face a mixture of suspicion and lingering anger. Whitzel, you got some nerve showing your face here after all these years. Whitzel kind of respond with, Antazor, it has been a long time. We need your help. My friends and I need boats to cross the swamplands and reach the necropolis. Antazor just kind of scoffs. Help! Help me after what you did. You insulted me. Disrespected my family's ways. Why should I lift a finger for you? It's this kind of gulp from Whitzel. I know our last meeting didn't end well. We were friends once. We crafted together. We learned together. Can we not put that aside for the sake of these people? Friends? You call what you did friendship? You called me an old fool. Said me ways were outdated. I know you come back expecting me to forgive it all. Yeah, Whitzel kind of pinches his brow in frustration. I was young, brash. I didn't understand the value of your methods then. I have learned a lot since then. Look, Antazor, I'm here because we need your craftsmanship to build boats that can cross this swamp. I recognize your craftsmanship. You learned a lot, eh? You always thought you knew better. Always. Oh, do I know you're here just to take advantage again? It's at that point Whitzel kind of straightened his back a bit and seems a bit indignant. Take advantage? You think I came all this way just to spite you? My friends here have a mission to reach the necropolis. Can we please put aside our differences? So at this point, many of you can tell this is probably going to go on for a while. So if anyone wants to chime in here, you can feel free.
Angus is gonna look about the group, sort of a body gesture of, well, I'm ready, but if anybody's got something they want to say first.
Yara is also looking around, possibly looking at Vellum, like nodding her head, like, come on, do your thing.
Angus follows the line of sight and just kind of, huh?
In a surprising move, Sao just sort of steps forward to Whitzel and sort of lays a hand on his shoulder. Just
you approach, you can hear Antazor kind of rebuffing what Whitzel's just said. And what about me pride? Me heritage? You think you can just waltz back in here and ask for help after you spat on everything the whole day? And he kind of notices you approach. Who's this?
My name is Sao Yun, and I know where you're coming from. Call it personal experience with my own family.
And Zul just kind
What
of
he said,
folds his
what he
arms
said-
and listens.
what he said back then was maybe a heat of the moment comment. And in full honesty, I have done the same. I do regret in some part what I've said to people I probably shouldn't have said things to, but when we came here with his help, you were one of the first people he thought of when it came to crossing the swarm. And from what I heard him say before we arrived here, even we had to quietly convince him to, he deeply regrets what he said. You have differences, sure, but that is what makes craftsmen. There will be differences between everybody. I should know. I am foolhardy at times with how I make things. I often try new things and break tradition. But as much as tradition can be a good thing, without innovation, well, some crafts fall behind, and I do not mean any disrespect from that. It's tried and true methods work for a reason. So that is why we've come. Because we know you can make boats that will carry us.
Zul's eyes slim towards you. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Boy. One of my weaker ones.
8.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna boost that.
You don't gather much, but you can. It doesn't take a genius to realise that he is very distrusting of outsiders, especially foreigners, as you all seem to be here. But Huitzel kind of speaks up a bit, gives you an appreciative nod for backing him up. I didn't come here to rekindle our feud. What she says is true. I came here because I respect your skill. Because I know you're the best at what you do. I am asking for your help because we need it. Not because I want to fight. And he kind of looks back towards Angus, who seemed to clear his throat for a moment.
Oh, perfect. Angus is just sending a little message over the earrings. Mind if I chime in?
With a gesture behind her own back, very much angled towards Angus. She's just sort of maybe in a moment type thing. We know you two have bad blood between you. That is not ours to resolve, that is between you two. But, as mentioned, we are here for transport means to do so. If you refuse, that is your choice. If you accept, we would be happy, and we would pay as you would request. The choice is yours, basically.
Did you want to say something?
Yes, Angus is actually gonna. Well, I'm going to slightly disagree with you. I want to mend things. He kind of like raises his hand and steps forward. Maybe not everyone else, but I want to. He takes off his little chef's hat, revealing his bald head, and he extends his hand to shake the hand of oh jeez, how do you pronounce this guy's name?
Antozul.
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 Antozul. And he extends it and he's, hello, I'm Angus Brackenbrick. I am from the Clancraft Guild.
You'll be a foreigner.
Originally I am. And I've come to see the wonders of your craft. I was told you were the very best. And he looks back. And I also am here to see Banzola. In fact, me and your old friend here are. I did not want to simply walk past your abode. Your friend here, well, he was murdered by Reavers. And, well, he kind of gestures his fingers with a little magical flare. He was brought back. But the price of that was to live a proper life, make amends, and serve Anzala and his people. We're on the way to the temple.
The moment you say murdered by Reavers, he's immediately going to make an insight check on that.
Go ahead.
His eyes immediately so briefly widen, and there's with the tattoo around your eye, especially, it gives you a detailed
23 passive.
Yeah, exactly. There was this initial look. Well, first of all, as you approached, you saw him eyeing you, particularly the metal of your armor. And at that sight, there was an immediate grimace. But as you've been talking, he's been intently listening, the moment you said killed by Reavers, you can tell that's sort of softened him a little. There's that brief glance, a brief concerned glance towards Whitzel. Gather why their feud might have been rather bitter. It was never. Antozul probably never wanted Whitzel to die, per se.
Yeah, that's what I sort of figured.
Yeah.
It's a grand tale, I know. I have ways of proving my strength if you need to have some back of that. I can show you a grand tower I and my friends here all crafted together. If you need some sorts of proof, I could do other sorts of magic. He sort of looks around and he begins to notice there's starkly no metal here, is there?
There is very much no metal to be seen besides the armor of your allies.
I imagine it would sink eventually.
Does he just like question? Does he not use metal tools? Or does he use like stone tools?
You've not seen any tools on him. Oh wait, and there is that craftsman bench outside, and you do see he does use sharp obsidian tools.
Oh yeah, they use obsidian. Don't mind me.
Yep. Not a bit.
He just sort of gonna look around a little bit. I see you and I have our very different ways. But beyond the ways that we work, I think we're also very similar. He's gonna kind of plop his hefty shield of stone around. Each one of these is a name of someone who said something, did something very dire. And each one with a cross over it, or a line through, is someone that I have written that wrong. You have something like this etched upon your heart with your friend. And to be honest, it is a heavy weight to carry. It is much better when things can be solved and moved forward. That doesn't mean you forgive the slights of those who do wrong with your family, your heritage, your proven ways. When I heard why you had your spat here, is why I wanted more than anything to set this right. What was said to you was wrong. And he's going to turn back to, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, with Huitzel.
Huitzel, as you've said, like what you said was wrong. Huitzel's kind of lowered his gaze a bit.
But I think it was said in heats of passion and said in the wrong way with the wrong intent. I believe in the importance of the old ways, but many things I do are different. As time moves on, sometimes the old ways were the perfect answer of the past. And what we do to improve them now honors their heritage. We don't throw them aside, we build them up into something better. It is the clay that's given to us by our forefathers' hands, shaped into something, given to us to shape into something slightly better, to give to the next generation. The wonderful thing about inventing and creation is that it is never over. It's a constant pursuit of passion and joy, and in making something, you make something more of yourself. I don't ask you to forsake your ways. I don't even ask you to make us a boat. I just ask that we can mend this, as he points to the two. So, our friend here can have a lighter soul on his way to the temple. If need be, we can find our own way across. And I won't impose upon you, and I won't impose upon anything for free. I don't mean to give you just coins. There are more valuable things than that. But for the sake of friendships and, well, not holding a bitter little, not little, but bitter large squabble like this into the afterlife. What can we do to begin to set things on the right path, so this wound can finally turn into a scar and start to heal?
Azul strokes his long, messy beard. You can see small bits of swamp grass have been tangled in it over the years. Parts of it have matted together into long, unkempt dreads. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage. But keeping track of the DC of this throughout the conversation.
And I would like to flash of genius that with a comment.
Sure.
what he said is probably better worded than what I meant to say. And that's the comment, and yeah, it's +4, so
There's this long, pregnant pause as Antazul looks between you, Angus, back to Hitzel. You've definitely noticed a softening in the furrowed brow. Your words are sweet, but your actions speak louder. If you want me help, you got to prove your worth my time. Tell you what, me holy symbol of Banzala been lost long ago. Could make a new one, but the touch of the ferryman be absent from it. If you can help me create it and bless it, then I can use it to help you with the boats. But what I see,
Aye. Sounds fair.
no metal.
Oh, sorry.
There be no metal in these boats. Got it. You see, you can craft
Rubs his
boats on your own. You want to create a boat of metal yourself? I'll be taking no part in that. But I can help you fix up these ones.
Alright then. A challenge to be sure. But I'd be happy to take it.
Alright then. And with that, he kind of heads inside, takes out a small like bit of leather, like a piece of vellum, if you will. Takes a small.
Oh,
Oh,
Just walks over and stabs Vela.
hang on, I need that.
It's your fault for naming your character after a commonly used piece of parchment-like material. And he takes a small piece of charcoal and starts sketching, and kind of turns it around to you in particular, and also Whitzel, who he gives a very, very keen eye. This be what a holy symbol of Banzala looks like. Can help me craft this. Bless it. Then we can get started on the boats. I think actually go ahead and make a religion check.
Anyone in particular?
Oh, sorry,
or-
that would be to Angus.
Jesus.
I'm gonna DM you something real
Loving
quick.
Jesus, legally.
You should know. I'm somewhat of a craftsman myself. God damn it.
Yeah, let him try. Let him try.
It's all good.
He won't learn unless he tries.
It's just fun. It's like,
Yeah.
this is what a symbol of Banzala looks like. Kind of like what she's wearing, but slightly different.
Actually, has Talali been making herself known, or has she been kind of standing way in the back?
No, she's been kind of like throughout this entire exchange. She's just kind of been like off to the side, like somewhat behind everybody.
Mhm.
She's just been observing the
Just-
group and their
Just
interactions.
keeping a rather low profile then.
Mhm.
All right then.
Cool. The gears of Angus's mind begin turning. You can see the vein of his forehead throb as he begins to think.
Oh shit.
I'm just gonna say it. Raising.
Ha. Oh. Ho ho. Ho. Hu.
And I shall also say, because you, again, fairly high passive insight, as Antazul has shown Huitzel this image of the holy symbol, there has been a distinct look of, yeah, you know what you did. And Huitzel's responded with, yeah, this is probably in response to what I did.
With the exchange of
Look in
the
the face.
symbols.
On the deep end.
There's it's just that brief look that Angus has noticed between the two.
Somebody fucked up.
Oh shit.
He said no metal, right?
No metal.
No metal.
Did he specify the material?
He didn't specify the material, but everything you've seen.
Time for a stone.
A stone boat.
Hey, he said no metal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I could make a stone boat.
A stone
I
boat.
Could use
Behold
wood.
the castle canoe.
Can you make?
So just to
Hey,
clarify,
I
First
are we,
suggested
suggested I suggested that last session, and people didn't like it. Just saying.
Can you make?
so are we making
boats
just
out of
are we
stone?
making a replacement symbol, or are we making that and a boat? Just so I'm sure.
You
I'm
get.
just-
You
I'm
gather
just-
if.
we have to make a replacement symbol.
Yeah, either
Okay.
probably either like get him some sort of replacement holy symbol somehow.
Okay, so question, Janer. Vellum's seen a couple of these things by now. What can I get a sense of what material they're predominantly made of?
Primarily made from like carved polished wood with a few feathers for decoration. The really nice ones have like some sort of blue gem embedded in the eye socket. So it takes the symbol of like a grinning skull with like a crown of feathers.
Damn, I don't already have one. I searched and all I have is bananas.
I spent all my goods on bananas. Okay, well, strange. Why do I remember? I remember Rasmund having one that was like gold and shit. Or am I misremembering that?
Well, that's Rasmus.
I guess, but like, if you're gonna do something cultural, like, you'd probably want to stick to the brief. If it's that important to you. Okay, I got a couple of options in mind, but I'm not going to distract from Angus' moment, so I will continue to mull over things in the background.
You gather
That's pretty much what I got. So go ahead. Other players, please, please play.
Vellum is just like wordlessly, but very obviously, like with no deftness whatsoever, just is already sort of knelt on a knee on the ground, rummaging in one of his bags, and just sort of. We're on like boardwalks, right? We're not in mud.
Yeah.
He just sort of plucks out a couple of blue gems and puts them down, and then takes out some obsidian and just mulls it over for a moment. Just a little bit of uncertainty to it. And he just gets another bag, and he just like gets a little bit of gold out. And it's like,
Yeah.
man.
Obsidian could work as like a
Yeah, like, that's
carve
why
into a
I'm
shape
mulling
of
it
a
over,
skull
yeah.
or something. I mean,
Hmm.
these things are small. The holy symbols are pretty small. You gather any material make it out of could be probably done within like a couple hours.
Yeah, because at the moment, like, Vellum's sort of looking at the materials, and like anyone with a sense of knowing Vellum, as you all do, like he takes out the golds, like looks at it, it's like, no, it's too much. Just puts it back in, and then takes out the obsidian. It's like, well, yeah, I guess that'll work.
Let's
Anything
just-
special about it? The one.
You talking to Antizal?
Yeah, he just out of the blue just goes to him. It just says to him, anything special you want about it?
As long as it functions. I've been needing it for crafting, for fixing up these boats.
What functions are them?
The channel me spells. What else?
Oh, right, magic stuff, right, okay. Well, that's out of my wheelhouse, so you lot can figure that out. I'll get the physical shit together.
Liska's
It just
gonna
goes
just
back
kind
to
of
rummaging.
yeah. Liska's just gonna kind of like lean forward, like standing behind the group as she usually does. Just be like, sir, around where did you think you lost it?
Antizal just kind of gives Witzel a glare. Where did you lose it, Witzel?
No.
There's a just
Ooh.
bead of sweat down Witzel's brow.
Oh,
Your nose knows that
you
feeling.
done fucked up.
In the heat of the moment, I threw it out the window. I lost it in the swamp.
At this
Oh,
moment, your,
wait. So it's just like out there, like nearby.
That was years ago. I do not know what has
Angry.
happened to it.
Angus, do you not have that thing that lets you like locate stuff? That spell.
I do.
Can we not just locate the one that?
Well, we could. I just I'm not attuned to that channel of magical energy. So I would have to prepare that a little later. And he again flips around the backside of the shield, where you can see certain glyphs are glowing and others are dark. And he taps a dark one. To locate an object or creature, I'm not quite in harmony with those spirits.
Okay.
But I absolutely could.
so
I just didn't know. Like, all of you are very expert craftsmen. It's just, I thought his original one might have more sentimentality.
No, that's actually a really good point. So was it lost or
I think I know what
Apparently,
happened.
Quetzal threw it out the window in a fit of anger.
oh
Witzel, I'm gonna ask a really, really simple question. You were a friend and apprentice to this guy. What made you want to take the holy symbol and throw it? And you could have done anything else. Why that?
I don't quite understand myself. It was a heat of the moment decision and I regret it. I was a fool, quite frankly.
How long ago was that?
Antizal kind of pipes up right before Witzel can jump in. It was 20 years ago.
Oh, that shit might either be gone or buried. Then he goes back to rummaging.
Either buried or smoothed so much it not functional.
that's what mending's for.
Sav sort of looks into the swamp for a moment and then looks back to what's his name again? Antisol. Sort of there's sort of a pause before she speaks as she looks to him. Are these swamps is the water thick? And she sort of with a mild hand gesture as if like she's trying to ask if the water preserves like it does with honey. Is this like a true swamp, a bog, or is this like more running water?
The swamp,
Oh, stagnant or moving.
the swamp tends to preserve a lot of bodies turn up almost the same as when they went in. The water don't move quite a lot.
Oh, great.
That both makes it easier and harder if we actually go looking for it.
Must have been many wet seasons since then.
Would be a moot point to even try. I feel. If we
If
down
you can,
very deep.
if you can find the original, I would be most appreciative. But if you craft a new one, that will serve just as well.
Alright, well, how's about us crafting folk get to work on the crafting, and anyone who can find it can go looking. And worst comes to worst, if we find it, we got something we can sell later.
Let me look.
I'm going to think. Does anyone have any scrolls or runes that could locate objects? I know normally that's me, but
Do not have anything that can per se locate objects. Can locate people, but I have that arcane eye can use. Maybe it could be useful.
potentially. Maybe in tandem. Give you an idea of where to look, and that would let you go searching. But just...
Deeper than what I can, where my eye can go, like solid barriers of mud or rock. At that point it would be hard.
I have a feeling it's a bit buried somewhere.
That's gonna be potentially harder.
Jenner. You mentioned that he sketched out a, well, I wouldn't say blueprint, but he's done a doodle of what the symbol would look like, right?
Yes.
See, I think I got everything together. Mind if I have a look at that right there? And Velen just sort of approaches a bit and gestures to the drawing.
And hands it over.
How detailed is it?
It's actually,
Or is it like a 5-year-old with crayon?
It's actually pretty well done. He's got a degree of artistry to him, despite his looks. There's it's actually a very simple design. You gather he's not one for all the fancy schmancy details when it comes to these sorts of things. He lives probably a very ascetic lifestyle.
So nothing too fancy, basic and sturdy, and all that good shit. But Velen takes a few moments, mulls it over, just sort of examining it all. And there's a workbench nearby, right? It was outdoors?
Yes. You
Mind
see
if I
it-
use that?
He silently kind of gestures his hand as if to say, "Go right ahead."
Also, I hooked my thumb behind my shoulder, but didn't say I was doing that. I'm smart. I did the physical action, unaware that nobody could fucking see me. Alright, if anyone wants to help me out, more power to you, but seems like you've not got your own plans. I'll be over here if you need me.
You see, there is a sort of reed woven roof overhead over the workbench as well. Tends to keep the tools and the wood dry.
I should fucking hope
Angus
so.
is gonna reach into his bag of holding and hop out you come and pull out Mikey.
Mikey!
Thump.
All right, lad. Go give Mr. Fajer some help. Hold the lantern. Hold his tools. Do a little dance. Whatever he needs, please. You probably know how to work with the stone tools or learned a thing. Give him a hand with that. And he'll use his knowledge of the ancients or whatever and give you a D4. And a
Hell yeah. Thank you kindly, that's a big help. And also, it doesn't distract you from doing the more magical means of achieving the
familiars.
goals.
Asking
Delegating
Alright.
is the way of the future.
So as you begin work on that, Antazul just sort of takes a look towards Witzel, and you kind of whisper something to him, just beckons him inside. You and I be having a little chat. And while they do that,
Uh-oh.
you can all you are effectively left to your own devices for the meantime.
How long would this take? And I'm only gonna need like a pound of obsidian, right?
Yeah, well, probably not even that.
I'll say a pound because I'm not gonna do fucking percentages.
Yeah. I mean, you've got those small obsidian gemstones, don't you?
Yeah, I got like 200 pounds of them somewhere.
Oh,
I only didn't bring that much with me. Oh no, it's in the dueler's bag. Yeah, of course I brought it with me.
yeah. So I mean,
I love having separate bags of
There you
holding
go.
for
a
specific
10,
bits.
like a singular sort of 10 gold piece worth of obsidian, you could probably carve into a small skull.
The only sad thing is it's gone from a nice round 200 to 199.
Oh no.
Dude, that's a deal. The entire bag for $199.
199. So yeah, I'm
So,
gonna get his jewel
yeah.
crafting tools out and get to work.
So that take a good couple
Very
hours.
nice.
So effectively, you guys have a couple of hours to kill here while Velem's doing that, and you can. Talali and Insa, you can definitely hear there is some discussion taking place within the hut.
God, I love that we have smart people that can use their ears. Smart, perceptive people. Listen, I'm not one of
Hint,
the
hint,
either.
hint.
Yeah. I remember the low end characters. There's Liska's just gonna kind of meander off. She's gonna she's gonna go like up the stairs and just like sit down and
The
chill on the front porch.
the wood just creaks under your weight. You gather probably not meant for large and heavy creatures.
Nope. But yeah, so she's gonna do that, sit down, feeling the sack. She's like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. And she's just gonna lay down and close her eyes. Take a short rest she doesn't need to
Yeah.
take, but she's just still gonna take a short rest. And yeah, Talali's just going to kind of sit in and listen, and while she's not going to drop any eaves, she's still going to like measure tone
Mm-hmm.
to make sure things don't escalate
Yeah.
back to where we have another issue.
Suddenly, he comes out drenched in blood.
I'd be finishing my grudge.
The whole
He
while
fucked
they were
me
talking
wife.
normally.
Truly, he's one of my own.
It's like that's right. Yeah, apparently that's sort of like the tradition of missionary. Quetzal's like doggy style, you know. But yeah, so yeah, she's just gonna listen, keep her eyes and ears out in general, but just make sure that she doesn't have to step in case things start to get heated again.
All right.
As Talali is and just sort of hanging out, because that was Talali listening, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Angus is going to waddle up to her. A moment of your time, if I may.
Yeah, what can we do for you?
I've got an idea. One thing that I could potentially do here is one of my little magic bits, like I did back in the in that old secret groove you've got with what did you call her? Granny Bones?
Mm-hmm.
I could commune with someone else who holds the Banzalan faith, and it would be able to help sort of patch this up, act as sort of an intermediary, and allow some sort of spiritual peace. Because he sort of looks around and gestures inside with a throw of the thumb. It seems this lad is, well, magical and faithful, a cleric in some regard, perhaps, you know, more tree-like, but still. I couldn't do it today, but I could tomorrow. Is that anything you may be interested or willing to do? To act as sort of that, almost translator of faith to help smooth this out? If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's not a pressure. It's just an idea that suddenly came to me in a distant thought, or you could even say a private message.
We don't quite know what you're asking. You're asking me to be an intermediary between them, or what you mean by channel?
Wait,
I mean,
I can
we
speak.
can talk to them,
Mm.
try to help smooth it over. But yeah, you think Banzala want to interfere with two living souls instead of two dead ones?
Well, they'll eventually be his two dead ones, won't they?
Aye, but that's in regards to him, it's a short time coming for a long time return. Death
It's
is a lot
true.
longer than life, is all I'm saying.
I completely agree with you. I was just having that sort of thought where I might be able to do that with someone who holds his same faith, because I think for most people it might be the case, but for someone who's able to wield his power in the living world, he may be more interested in sort of resolving that, especially when it seems in some way he's severed from it.
So, me all fine with helping these two patch up, per se, but again, we not quite know what you're asking. What are the particulars?
He scratches his head and he begins to think. Jenner, what would the particulars be?
So basically,
Sorry, Avon, I'm working with really limited stuff here.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
So Talali herself has a holy symbol around her neck, but that's hers. That's her. That's her Banzan and
Yeah,
holy
she's not
symbol.
giving that shit away.
Yeah.
And that's not at all the request.
Yeah, I know.
And from what you gather, considering that she looks like she is a faithful of Banzala, considering that holy symbol.
And her magical arms,
True. Possibly.
clearly blessed in some regard.
There's a. You gather if she were to be involved in this ritual of say a commune spell with Banzala, Banzala might be able to help re-imbue this newly constructed holy symbol with his power.
So you're asking Talali. So you're saying you want Talali to commune on Angus's behalf for the two gentlemen.
Sort of, yeah. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. I guess it's really just like, hey, can you talk to him? Like,
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
really?
It
Was it?
I suppose this is more like a flavour thing than anything.
No, I got you. And then do
Commune just seems to
Instead of
make the
viewing.
most sense when it comes to imbuing holy symbols with newfound divine power.
Talali is going to look at Angus like, if we're gonna be waiting tomorrow to figure this out, do we not just want to wait for tomorrow to get you locate the object and just find the original that works already?
Either or could really work. It's sort of depending on what we're wanting to do. We could just find the original, but at the same time, some form of communion and, I don't know, epiphany that could be had. It could. Well, one would just find the object and get us back to where we were. The other might be able to get us back on the road of mending the friendship. I know you might not care, and that's fine. As he kind of throws his hands up defensively. It's just
I
for
mean-
some reason I'm having a really strong pull to wanting to fix this friendship.
Let me understand. It's definitely a sign of character for you. So me understand. Again, all this boat stuff is really besides the point. I can walk on the water. So
As he spits out his sip of ale.
She really just go, oh, it sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, this is really for y'all's benefit. We can walk on water.
Well,
But
Kalali's Jesus.
but you know, fucking monk shit, right?
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about finding the original, the tall one, Niska. Makes a lot of sense that there'll be some sentimentality attached to it, and
I
if
agree.
anything, that can very much be having Huitzil giving it back to what's his name? Hold on while I try to find his name.
Everyone just,
Yeah,
I've only been paying attention.
just hover over his bloody token.
token.
Just hover over his bloody token. I made it visible to everyone.
Okay, thank God. I was gonna say because Witzel, I'm trying to find out how you spell his name, but his name isn't.
With an X.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
Anthony and Whittle.
Yeah. So to find the original, one, the sentimentality, but two, to have Witzel be the one to give it back to him could very well be the mending of the bridge that's been burned.
I like that.
Not to say that Vellum, and she kind of looks over to where Vellum's working. It's like, not to say that he won't do an amazing job. I've seen the way his hands work, but who knows? Maybe I can give him the original back for the bridge and then just another one for payment for the boats.
Aye, that could work quite well.
Can't have too many.
I was thinking
connections
about
to
giving him
Banzala.
one of these. He's gonna reach into his bag and he's gonna pull out a
Holds up a
Briarheart.
fist. Oh, okay.
So I was gonna go middle finger,
Give it up the bird.
giving him one of these.
Give me one of those.
With a left and a right, and a left and a right, and an uppercut.
So what does he hold up?
A Briarheart. Let me just.
Yeah, link that or something. I
Pop.
have no idea
It's
what
a
that is.
fancy thing.
The
We got it
crafting,
in Tomb, I think, right?
the crafting material.
I think I have a
Or
one two
Greenheart,
of
I
those.
guess.
Yeah, it's basically a heart for wood. Basically. Wood chip.
Heart of a Treant.
I think I have one or two of those somewhere.
I have 3 of them. I think. Maybe 4.
We went into that great big old Dragon Rider tomb, and I found one of these there in the old Earth Giant areas. I was able to save it before it got reached by the same corruption that turned everything else all undeathy, and I figured, well, he kind of looks around. This lab probably knows what to do with it and would appreciate it, if nothing else, just for preserving.
That could definitely work. That's interesting. Where'd you say you found that? The
I
Dragon
found-
Riders too.
Aye. The Earth Giants are very in tune with like a lot of the plants that overgrew.
Makes sense that they'd be connected to Earth. Yeah. As long as it don't, grow and overtake everything. Invasive species, Anyway,
Well, it's from the this region, as he kind of like points to the, just a few days travel that way, but still.
no, I was more talking about the whole imbued with undead energy. And not the good
Oh.
kind, from what y'all be saying.
Oh no, this one wasn't. I saved it before it was.
Oh! Okay, yeah, that'd be fine then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, those are
regard-
these. As he pulls out like spectral essences and motes of undeath.
Sally just slaps it out of his hands and just bam! Slaps it. So, back
Careful, I have those locked up safe.
No.
into the swamp.
It's a good thing it's in a floating glass vial.
Yeah,
There's just
yeah.
a little moan from little spirit in a jar.
Here,
They're all
Woke
spiced
up
in
the
mason
spirits.
jars.
that's not the one that's corrupted. Those are bramble hearts. I have 2 of those, and those are locked away.
Yeah, those are the bad ones.
So, yeah,
Oh,
these are
also,
the
hello,
dangerous
Dejar.
ones.
Hello. I was just overhearing you talking about the green hearts and whatnot. So excuse me.
Yeah, she knows about them more than I do. Either way, I really like your plan about finding the original and having them given back, and me not. There's also the option, in addition, for me to do that commune anyway, just to sort of maybe help this lad who's been severed from his faith, it seems, to jumpstart that back where it belongs. You don't have to. I don't want you to feel pressured. I just had the idea, and it would involve someone of the same faith. So before I even mention it to anyone else, I wanted to see if you were okay or even interested. Courtesy. Or at least
Me
attempting. This is being polite for dwarves. I don't know if it's being rude for you. I'm trying to figure
Me-
this out.
Me, I'm fine to help you with it. Again, Hamara, you can prepare both of the spells, whatever magics you have, and then with that, we can see if the first hunted back at the original might reconnect him. And if it don't, then fine, we can do the communion.
Sounds like a plan, lass. Sounds like a plan. There's one more plan I need your input with. It's vital. He looks up. About where is the sun in the overcast sky?
Can you even see the sun through this?
Yeah, maybe this would be a perception check for that.
I would offer to help, but I'm busy.
Perception.
17. You kind of this entire swamp that just has sort of overcast glow, but as you kind of peer through the scant partings in the canopy, and you generally sort of perceive whereabouts the overcast glow is more intense than everywhere else. It's about midday-ish.
Perfect. What should we do for a late lunch?
Ooh. That's a really good question. You got any more of those potatoes?
His eyes light up. I always have potatoes.
Or just raw potato.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Potato.
Hey, told.
Do you want them
Mashed.
fried, boiled, mashed, stuck in a stew?
Yes.
All of above. You've got it.
Well, somebody has been bitten by the starch, huh?
I'm just saying, Talali's one of those freaks that can eat like a whole pizza and still be thin as a fucking rail.
Goddamn
She-
metabolism.
Yeah, she has like.
Listen, would you
insane
see the
metabolism.
shit she's doing?
Just casually walking on water. That's fine.
Just kind of, Jesus Christ, man. Literally.
Now I kind of want to see a dwarf do that, except he just humble rolls.
Oh my
Just
god.
combat rolls.
Is there a place where I could be able to set up the tower?
I will say, make another perception check.
My
I-
question on that front, didn't we leave the tower with the other two? Or am I missing?
No, we were
No.
bringing it in case we found
We-
somewhere we could set it up.
Yes. We've left the cart and we have left the tank. I have to call on it again. May I make a imposed or suggest or propose a different type of roll?
You could make a survival check to try and see.
That is exactly it.
There you go.
And I would like to ask Liska, the soldier who knows where to set up camp and how to avoid bullshit and find a suitable, appropriate place, if she would like to help me do it. Because
Liska-
Angus has no experiences with bogs or these types of terrains.
Liska just like casually lifts up the cape she draped over her face, be like, "What these you take us?"
I'm trying to find
she's
a
a
spot
she's a
to
trained
set-
soldier. She fell asleep the moment she laid down.
A trained soldier can sleep anywhere, anytime. Watch her.
Yep.
You just. Oh, sorry to wake you. I'm about to start lunch, but small problem. I don't know where to set the tower. Would you help me find suitable ground? Literally ground, as he kind of like splashes in a small puddle, where I might be able to set it up.
Yeah.
I was
sure.
thinking about just looking around, but I figured you'd actually know where to put it.
Yeah, sure, I can try it. I think as of this point in time, I don't know. Ground might be hard to find, but I definitely think, given the expense of these routes, you will likely find kind of a solid root foundation, if anything. Tell you what, let's go see. She just kind of
All right.
gets up
All right.
and then heads out into the light drizzle.
So,
And,
Angus
yeah.
very quickly waddles to keep up with her strides.
One of you go ahead and make a survival check with advantage.
He's helping you, and he'll throw you a guidance.
Okay.
Roll guidance.
28. So
Hold on.
oh,
29.
29.
29. Okay, so you go throughout the bog for the next, I'll say, like 10, 15, half an hour, kind of trying to test the ground before you step into it, particularly when it comes to like deceptively deeper puddles than anything, or rather expanses of bog. You using your sword, you kind of jab it into the ground, trying to see how deep the water goes. Deep. Nope, that's not going to do there. That's more than 10 feet. Over here, no. Gonna jab it into one large expansive piece of groundwater, and you stab into roots about 5 feet down. I mean, it could work. But the bottom level is probably going to be a bit flooded, but the main sleeping area will be above water.
What about the main cooking area?
Oh,
That's the bottom level.
Oh, right. Sorry, my bad. I mean, I'll say, the 29. You do find a solid, a good solid foundation of roots. Where the water only comes up about like a few centimeters. It was a little bit deceptive at first, but as soon as you stab your sword into it, yeah, solid.
Motions get like extravagantly with her hand. I have found your foundation. Look upon what I have done.
I have found the
Angus
floor.
motions extravagantly back. I will make your lunch. I've had potatoes suggested. What are you thinking?
You know me. I am always a fan of any meat.
Or food. Just a fan of food.
I am a fan of food.
There's
To be fair, like you make things delicious regardless of what it is. So, but if I have to make a suggestion, it is me.
It is me.
You also have like
I have-
a shit ton of bloodhorn meat.
Yeah, a metric shit ton.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's time. Time for bloodhorn potato skewers.
Hell yeah. So you set up the tower. It starts growing about over the course of like a minute. You can see some of the roots seem to up beneath its weight, but it holds. It holds. And the stagnant swamp water is like just it's on the cusp of kind of like flowing into the floor of the first level, but it holds. And so you spend the next hour deep in concentration in the zone as you start creating this lunchtime feast. As the smell wafts through the swamp around the huts nearby, you all start to smell it as well. And I'll say,
I've done a lot of roleplay, so I'm going to shift it to someone else.
Sure.
See if they're doing it.
I should also say, Lali, as you've been kind of listening in after your chat with Angus to the hut, the tone itself has been initially heated, but as time has gone on, there has been a sort of settling in the tone as well. There seems to be some reconciliation happening here, though might take some time to heal old wounds.
Lolly's going to kind of give a little knock on the door before she kind of pops her head in. Like, hey, old Daimas, The Angus gonna be cooking up some grub, some really delicious food. Just letting you know, gonna be ready soon.
You can see as you poke your head in. It's rather.
Oh god, put some clothes on.
Yeah, the walls are well lined with shelves and racks. You can see meticulously organised with the tools of the trade. Hammers, chisels, made from these sort of carved little obsidian heads. Knives of various shapes and sizes. You can see small carvings and totems hanging from various places from the ceiling. Also, these strangely preserved small animals in jars. It's very weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah. You also see some of them seem to depict figures of the living gods, including Bunzada, who's sort of squat on some sort of stylized throne, crouching. And you can see in the centre of the hut is a fire pit surrounded by a ring of stones topped with the iron grate, and you can see that they're both kind of sat around the fire, kind of chatting to each other. And on the far side of the hut, you see a small altar dedicated to Bunzala that's carefully arranged, adorned with bones, feathers, small skulls. And in the centre lies a conspicuously absent space that is surrounded by offerings and tokens of reverence. Probably for the absent holy symbol. And they kind of look up to you as they cease their conversation. Go on. I'll talk to you later. There's Antazul to Whitzel. Whitzel kind of sits up, adjusts his garb, makes his way out. You can see he's definitely humbled.
Falali's going to kind of move aside in the doorway, let him pass out, and then she's going to kind of walk in, looking around. Like, this is a nice setup you have here, old timer.
One of their friends, eh?
Me just a guide. Me the one taking them to the temple.
Could I make an insight check on you? You gather he's a fairly distrustful individual.
Can't imagine why.
I don't need to insight
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay. Alright.
You don't know shit.
You don't know shit, old timer.
Built this place with my own two hands a long time ago.
What had you building it out here in the middle of nowhere?
To get away from the city. Or cities. Prefer the natural
From
world.
the temple.
Away from the temple, aye. I like to be by myself and find comfort in my own company. And the whispers of the swamp.
You seem to have quite a connection to the living gods. Or at least an appreciation. She kind of motions to the... What do you say they were? Carvings? Like depictions?
Yeah, small carvings of the living gods. You can see this again, sort of stylized in squat nature, carved from like blocks of wood. They're not like picture perfect or like the same degree of craftsmanship that you might see like Greek marble statues. They're very stylized. You can see a feathered serpent. You can see a woman wrapped in vines, flanked on two sides by raptors. You can see the image of a woman stylized like a volcano. You see the familiar figure of Banzala on his throne. And you also see proud Jaguar warrior. I've been worshipping them in my own way. Primarily, my fate belongs to Banzala.
I mean, you're living in his home. It's understandable. Have you ever been outside the swamps? And you lived elsewhere?
Once in my youth, lived a long, long way away from here. Over in the
Yeah, my,
remember the name of the place, and you bring up the. Gotta remember my own law.
hey man, you
When
have a
you
big old
freaking
world.
combat.
It's understandable.
I once be a traveler in the Kajatan Dunes. Long, long way away from here.
That is a long way from here. In a completely different environment. Give away the dry for the wet.
Would my, that not be my sole reason for coming here, away from that place? But, the less said about that, the better.
We won't pray. But you do seem to have a place that is isolated, but also lonely. The whispers of the swamp might be comforting, but they don't substitute for conversation. You need, perhaps, visitors, people coming in to check on you. How long has it been since someone came by to talk to you face to face?
There been some that come by. The temple priests come around here in their boats, looking for funerary boats.
That's good to know that they check on you. Don't want you being out here going to Banzala without anybody knowing what happened to you.
Well, I hold some close contacts with the priesthood. I do create boats for them, for burial land for their own purposes.
But do you do anything but that? Is it only transactionary? Or do you actually have some friends?
One or two. You gather. Now that you've kind of mentioned this to him, again with your insane passive insight, he's. Now that he's actually kind of put this into perspective and kind of listened to this from a third party, he's probably thinking to himself, it does seem a little bit sad. But he's visibly trying not to show that, if that makes sense.
Hey, you ever wonder about how lonely you are?
I mean, yeah. No, he's being stoic. It's understandable. It's like, we gotta tell her is just kind of look around. She's still just kind of meandering around the inside. I was just kind of looking at all the odds and ends that you get from being someone alone for a majority of your life.
Mm-hmm.
A hermit, if you will.
Yep.
He kind of looks towards you and then gazes at your amulet, your holy symbol. So when did the ferryman come into your life?
Oh, that's a good question. A good question that's hard to answer. I can't quite remember a time when he wasn't in my life. He's been with me for quite some time.
Ja, grew up in the priesthood.
Something like that. I roam around these parts. Really, all around these parts. I've been through the dunes, up in the lava fields, around Shalaxos domain, all the way to the swamps, in the forests, the Kanda. We've been places. We've seen the people that make up this wonderful empire. The friends and families that grow up with it.
Seems we led 2 different lives, but together. Bound. In some way. And looks to the empty spot on the altar.
We all are bound by that. That's what makes us all the same in the end.
Kind of sniffs the air for a moment. Alright. Kind of hefts himself up and resigns himself to coming down and enjoying some of the Angus's meal.
Alright. Plan works.
Hell yeah.
It's like, stop being a miserly old bastard. It's like,
Tell me some fucking food.
yeah.
I mean, eat a meal that
Plus-
is actually, you know,
Food.
Yeah, like experience for the first and perhaps the only time ever what amazing cuisine is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, Angus is gonna ruin this guy's life.
It's like, oh no. I can't
Nothing's
go back
ever
to
tasted the
dog.
same ever again.
I'm gonna pull him back to society. Listen, man, I just want to have that skewers again.
What did you call these? Potatoes. But yeah, so Talia's just gonna, again, just kind of go out the front door, hold it open for him, follow him down to where,
Mhm.
just follow her nose.
So everyone's gathered together in a group, enjoying the meal, and you present to him this these skewers. Was it a potato and roast bloodthorn meat?
alright, question.
Mhm.
How much are we gonna ruin this guy's palate? Do we want to roll for it or just go by average?
Go ahead and make a
Palate ruining.
yeah,
Roll a fort.
yeah roll cook's utensils. Okay, 17.
Oh, that has to be the lowest I've ever seen Angus roll.
Yeah, with a 5.
It still got
Okay.
17 with a 5.
He's pretty okay.
Okay, in fairness, we are in a swamp, so
So let's have him make a wisdom save.
It was so
no.
Is anyone helping me cook?
I imagine probably. Like, did Angus ask Liska to help?
I mean, yeah. Do you want snacks while we're cooking? Chef always gets extra treats.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Let's
All right.
go aid.
There we go.
That's more like it.
This isn't that bad. It's in fact, it's okay. Wait for the aftertaste. What do you mean the after? Oh,
So
He wasn't prepared.
there's not much as he kind of looks at this this skewer of meat of effectively like a
meat, potatoes,
spiced meat
and
potatoes.
a series of like, bell peppers, so a couple sunstroke for some spice. You know,
He kind of
really simple skewers on wood
Yeah.
wood skewers.
Oh, a couple sunstroke. Jesus Christ, you're trying to kill us, man?
As you all kind of almost look expectantly to him, there's this moment where just everyone's looking to him, and this is a moment of quiet as he inches towards the skewer, takes a bite, starts chewing. Again, there's that kind of furrow in his brow as he chews, swallows. Well, I suppose it's okay. And then you see his eyes kind of widen for a moment. And he takes another bite. Another bite.
Victory.
Another
He
bite.
thinks to himself.
And he's
Another skewer.
Yeah, another skewer. And he just starts devouring these one by one. Like the ferryman's
Well,
hand.
I think that means they're good. Dig in, everyone. Our host has approved.
Alright, so he is silent through all of this. Just devouring these skewers, one after the other.
All he will say is, "My friend, these are my boats."
Right, another one.
This is the best compliment you can give to a chef. It's just either silence or another.
Ravenous eating. Angus is exceptionally happy. You have never seen him this smug in a way that is not at all condescending. It's not an "I told you so," it's just, hell yeah, you know?
This reminds me when I had a proper Turkish breakfast for the first time. It's an experience to try something that's just so good you cannot finish because your entire mouth is like still trying to compute.
What is this combination of flavors?
So as the meal goes on for the next about 30 minutes or so, you'll finish your meals and Antizor kind of swallows his pride, looks over to Angus and says and asks, "Any others I can take it to the hut?"
Yes, there is. And he is going to pull out a series of little snacks, and he's going to take out a little piece of chocolate. A friend showed me these, and how important it is.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone's brought you some, but
that is chocolate. That is city food. Not my kind of thing.
you don't like chocolate.
You mean chocolatl?
Chocolatl. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Too
You
bitter.
Homeboy likes milk chocolate.
he's my man's thinking. My man's thinking. Give me a moment. He is going to begin to make hot cocoa.
Oh, okay.
And as he's going to do so,
Devious.
he is going. Could I slightly off brand here? I have create and destroy water, and I also have like the creation spell. Could I use that to create milk?
Don't you have the jug?
Yeah, you do have the
I don't know
jug.
if the jug makes milk. Does the jug make
Sure.
milk?
I don't know.
It'd be weird if it doesn't. It makes mayonnaise.
I
so-
know you've got a specific type of alchemy jug that can make milk.
Yeah, it's the orange.
It makes cream, from what I read. But it could work.
Beer, honey, mayo, oil, soy sauce, vinegar.
Ah,
No cream?
Sadly, no.
Nope.
On the, I was say basic poison.
I have the orange one that makes beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil,
Vinegar.
soy sauce, vinegar, water, fresh and salty, and wine.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, I'll tell you what. What we can do is if you just roll me like a spell casting check. We because this is fun role play moment. I'll allow it. Just make me a
Let me tell you something.
yeah.
So it would be one of these if it's just my spellcasting modifier, right?
Mhm.
Wait, is that with proficiency or without proficiency? I can't.
I'll say considering this is you trying to use like trying to make a flavorful drink. I'll say we can add your proficiency.
Oh, cool. That would. This is a save, but it's the same thing.
24. All right. So using your create and destroy milk in this case, you
He's incredibly focused. He's straining. He's working really hard. He's
outside the
from
bounds
the
of his
air.
normal spell casting, you begin to have you've got a mug and you start
Create
Con-
half and half.
yeah.
And he begins creating this almost steaming, not enough to curdle, but very warm milk.
You see
As he begins
there's
dropping in little pieces.
cow
of the
milk
chocolate.
and then there's Angus milk.
Oh god, indistinguishable. And he's dropping in and stirring the pieces of chocolate, and he reaches and he gets the honey. Gets the honey from the, and he makes a honeyed milk, and chocolate drink.
All right, you hand it over to him. He kind of ups it with both of his hands, gives you a perplexed look. What is this?
Oh, it is sweet.
Kind of lowers his
Yeah.
nose, smells it a bit.
Have a bracken snacking with it, and he pulls out a little fluffy biscuit.
He takes it, munches on the biscuit. Oh. And starts gingerly drinking this strange concoction that warms his hands. Once again, eyes widen. Kind of. Smacks his lips a bit.
It is yours to take to your home, my friend.
And he just downs it. Eyes wide.
You don't have to drink it if you do. Like, oh.
Oh, by Bonzala's taint. And just downs it again.
Oh man, it's so good. He turned dwarven.
Sorry, I'm just struggling to get the accent right again.
You're good.
By the taint of Bonzola, this is pure.
I see.
Jesus.
By the living gods, what do you call this?
Scratches his chin. I call it hot chocolate.
You mean the hot chocolate?
Hotel chocolatl.
Hotel chocolatl. Do you have any more?
I absolutely can.
You're just spending
It will
spell
take
slots.
me a minute to yes. I'll spend another spell. And this time I'll make enough for the group.
Okay.
Liska is gonna get a double portion because
Yep.
um
A pint.
it'll take me a moment. While we do, you strike me as a wizened man. Surely you must have some interesting stories from your youth or the place around. Something with a nugget of wisdom. maybe I could impose to learn a little bit about your ways. After all, that's why I'm here. As he begins to get all the materials together, trying to coax this man into communicating, bribing him with a hot chocolate, like a wild animal with a morsel of food.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. I'll say with
Substitute a cooking check to allure him with more hot chocolate.
No,
As the hot chocolate is the persuasion.
I'll say with advantage because of the hot chocolate.
Okay.
Been in work.
This is going places I wasn't expecting it to. But hey ho. Oh come on.
Double 10. Let me get another. Let me get another 10. All right,
No,
disregard that one.
okay,
I was
okay.
just getting the mojo out.
Okay. He just seems too lost in the remaining skewers and the hot chocolate and the bracken biscuit you've given him. Meeting started to be best left unsaid.
You're right. Maybe tomorrow. For now, keep the mouth busy with food.
Well,
All right, everyone want a hottle chocolatl?
you are welcome to stay the night if there is more of this. And he gestures to
Yes.
the food he has.
Yes,
I'm
there
just gonna-
is.
I'm
Like,
just gonna say, we came here with the intention of getting votes and possibly mending our relationship, but I honestly feel like we could have just bribed him with food.
Yeah, but where's the character arc in that?
Also, Liska's gonna kind of give him a little side eye when it's like, you can stay the night if you have more of this. Just gonna casually just look around like, bitch, we're in a swamp. We're not in your house. Like, we stay the night. You gonna drive us off this land? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Pragmatic.
But she keeps that to herself.
She keeps it to herself. Angus notices the demeanor and he smirks a little bit in her direction. He's just like, yeah, I caught that too.
Yeah, that's she doesn't. Hold on.
I will let you be on my lands. Like, I'm a 30 minutes walk away. I am nowhere near your lands.
Okay, it's a lot more obvious than she thinks.
The face is just there.
That unnatural one. Rolled a 2. But she's not very good at deception.
No, she is not.
Yeah, seems he's a bit lost in the food to think straight. It seems.
Lost in the sauce. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
understandable.
The moment the yard gets her hot chocolate, hot cocoa, basically, she's gonna try and slip in some hot peppers into it.
You
I mean,
savage.
that is what they did in ancient Mesoamerica. They used to spice their hot cocoa.
I mean,
They didn't know if Grandpa could handle the spice.
Yeah.
nope. So Yard's just gonna be like, I'm gonna do it for myself.
Sorry, it's just I turned my fan on. It's sweltering.
No worries.
Right.
It's all good.
So it's
So
your
while this happens, is anything like with Vellum or Sao or Grunka? Is Grunka getting that exotic swamp fish?
ah.
That's actually a good point. Let's get some grunky fishing.
That is a
going.
very good point. There's probably more than enough space for that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, is Grunka gonna go noodling for swamp catfish?
Okay,
Get them by you boys.
I'm just gonna say, if you nat 20 a fishing check, it would be peak if you fished up the Bansalan icon.
That would be pretty funny. Well, let's see. Where's the... There you go.
Six. Oh, okay.
That's 6.
Go ahead and
That is the hook. That is the hook.
also just roll me like a d20.
Yes. Let's see.
I like this just kind of ominous Godzilla music in the background.
Oh,
It's just like,
That's how fishing be sometimes,
yeah, right?
especially in crocodile-infested waters.
There we go. That's any better.
That's better.
So, what do you
less kaiju, more chill.
what do you fish up with a 6?
Let's. Oh, a 6 is just a hook.
Okay.
So you hook
Let me
something,
just-
or you get a
yeah.
literal hook.
Oh no! Like that's the actual. Like I actually get a fish on a 6. Let me actually like try to read this. Let me see here. It should say. Let's see. The hook fishes the live fishing table. Where is that? There's usually it was usually on the actual item. Where the hell is that?
Is it down lower in the description, perhaps?
No, I can't scroll anymore.
Oh.
Jana, what do you do?
What-
Where do
what-
you put this?
What happened?
So on the item itself, normally there was a table of what fish I got from doing what, from rolling what.
Is this the pole?
that's not there
of,
anymore.
Is this the pole of angling?
No, this is the hook of Fisher's Delight.
Or Fisher's Delight? Okay, that's odd.
Yeah, because usually it had the table on it, but now it's just look at the table and be like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, maybe it got archived or something.
Maybe. So what I'll do is I'll just
Wait, hang on, there it is. I had to like go into edit the item, then I can find it.
Oh, okay.
What did I roll? A 13, a yellow with black stripes. Once removed from the fish, this awful tasting fish can be thrown up 120 feet, targeting
God,
the creature. Targeting a creature the thrower can see, the target must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Then the fish disappears.
I'd also like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
To see if the fish gets you.
Oh no, my
Alright,
dex saving throw. I'm pretty sure I get advantage on those.
You
you
do.
do.
19.
Very nice.
Something that, as you kind of pull the fish out from the stagnant water, you see, for the briefest of moments, there's this disturbance where you left it, and then this flurry of water leaps out as a large crocodile emerges, trying to snap at the fish. But you managed to pull it out of the way just in time.
Dumb, stupid.
The alligator lunges towards you.
Oh jeez.
No.
Janner.
As you smack it out of the way with your buckler.
Right. So, Janner. I'd like that crocodile to make a DC 15 saving throw.
What type? what type of saving throw?
A DC 15 strength saving throw.
All right.
Time to boil the swamp.
Nope.
All right. I throw the fish at it, and it falls prone.
All right. So
Yeah.
as you throw the fish, it seems to what? I mean, it's already kind of flat on its belly right now. But for the sake of mechanics, I'll say it's prone.
Flips
It's
over.
on
Yeah,
its
yeah.
back now.
Yeah. It just rolls over, flips on its back as it struggles to get back up.
the fish disappears.
Was that your action?
Yes.
All right.
That was my action to throw the fish as a, I assume, improvised weapon.
Yeah. You got your bonus action and your movement.
Did you just trade a fish for a gator?
Yeah,
Are we gonna have swamp chicken?
probably. Yeah. This is just a normal ass gator, right?
It's about 7 feet long.
Oh, it's a small
Mhm.
gator. All right.
All right. So while it's prone, I guess I'm gonna fucking. I guess I'm gonna just.
What you gonna do?
I guess I'm gonna attack it.
Sure.
Let me just fucking. What? Oh yeah. Wait, hang on. There it is. I guess I'm just gonna like fucking. Where's my shit? There it is. Fucking smack it. Sure, why not?
You crack it over the head. Was that your bonus attack?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So in that case,
Okay.
I guess it's its turn now. It's gonna kind of roll around up from prone. That's you to scurry back into the water, provoking from you.
Right.
Grab its tail, pull it back.
God,
Mine.
come here. Sure.
Ain't going nowhere.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's you.
You ain't going nowhere,
You
bitch.
cleave it in the back of its head as it turns around to scurry back into the water. It gets part way through, but it falls limp, and you can see red beginning to seep into the stagnant water itself.
I'm gonna grab it by the tail and I'm gonna drag it back.
Yeah, no, you're coming with me.
You made me lose fish, now you're fish.
You will see Grunker coming back to the group, dragging behind him quite a large alligator.
Now just sort of turns her head, spots Grunka, and just sort of eyes what he's carrying for a moment with an eyebrow raised. She just sort of calls out to him. Grunka, what have you got there?
Fish.
I don't think that is a fish per se, but good catch. Like, she just says good catch like it's the most nonchalant thing.
Yar looks up from a mug. That's no fish. The fuck?
It's, I mean, it's probably tasty.
I mean, sure, but you know what?
Well, if
Wrong with this group?
you prepare
Nothing.
alligator right, it could certainly be tasty.
Oh. Why did you do that then? How'd you do that?
Kind of thinks to himself for a moment. And Azul kind of gets up, makes his way over. And I'll say for the next hour or so, he begins to tell you the intricate details about how to prepare alligator for consumption. You gather he's done this quite a few times before. It's all in trying to break away the hard scales. The underbelly is what you want, the soft bits. Begin to carve it up.
Mind if I do a scene?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Yar finds Sal. Mind if I talk to you a bit about an idea I had?
Sure.
Okay, remember the talk with Vellum wanting to converse with you whispers
know.
in your ear. More, yeah.
I know.
I've kind of figured out a way with the idea of a tuning fork.
Go on.
We have a specific metal rings around it and probably imbued with ruined however you and Angus might do it. So you can converse. Note, I've done some research back at the library that spirits that's stuck in there can't really see. Kind of like a perpetual dark fog. So we can give her a voice, but also have a way to mute her if we still wish not to talk to her anymore, using a silence spell. A metal or stone base. If you're getting the idea.
I think I'm following. Might be something we need to discuss in proper details in a bit later, but you might be onto something in terms of an idea.
And I could bring my idea forth with more illusion magic instead of I can't really draw. So I can probably use my magic to give you a better idea. A more visual. Yeah. I also need to talk to Angus anyway. There's something about Dwarven artistry that it escapes me.
That is how it is with most artistic choices.
Well,
It's the little things that confuse us.
true as that may be, but you're talking to someone who deals with the arcane, trying to put that into perspective of art. Logical, illogical. I hard to grasp.
Art is never truly logical. There's always some air of madness to it.
Just like a genius has a touch of madness. Anyway,
It's a fine line.
as everything is. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. Probably a little bit more privately. Will you be staying up more tonight?
Possibly. It
I
depends
can,
on how things go.
Well, I'll see you then.
So, I'll say, unless anyone has anything else they want to do, you are free to take a long rest.
Would I have spent enough time on the thingamabob to finish it by
Oh,
this
certainly, yeah.
point? Alright, I'm gonna do my roll now.
Yeah.
And I'm
As I
gonna
remember how.
do a touch up on my spell list.
Yep, make sure to check your spells. You are sleeping in the tower for the night, away from the drizzle of the rain, the welcome fire.
Is Mikey's... Sorry,
No good.
I thought you were done, I'm sorry. Atlas, is Mikey's bonus the same as guidance?
It's a D4, yeah, that he can do twice a day.
All right.
It's not guidance, but it gives you a D4 like guidance.
A D4 equivalent, yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
Easy.
it's not terrible.
Easy. Not terrible, he says.
I'm
Not
going to use a
terrible.
blue quartz for this. It's sort of blue.
Well, before I roll my long rest here, where would Angus be?
What time is it?
Anytime you want it to be.
Like, just before most of us is going to sleep, I would say.
Probably his tower still.
There we go.
Probably in the lower area. He's cleaning up a little bit after cooking and things like that.
Alright. Well, Shard comes in with a very thick and almost old and with a name on the, let's say, the bindings of the front, reading Diamond Beard book. Angus, I need your help on a few things, Dwarven.
Oh? He kind of
He
sort of puts down his cooking pot. Well, all right, lass. I'd be happy to help you.
He takes the book from underneath her arms and places it on, very gingerly on the anvil. I need help understanding the artistic work of dwarves. Understanding the cultures. I've learned somewhat by being with you, but the artistic side, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Reading Diamond Beard's book, it confuses me. So,
Thornton Diamondbeard.
yes.
Of the joys of jewel crafting.
He holds up the book and yes, that's exactly what's on the cover. Why?
He hold on a moment. And he reaches over to one of the chests. You can see where he's normally sitting down by a fire. And then he pulls out another copy of The Joys of Jewel Crafting by Thornton Diamondbeard. I've been reading that too. Oh, how far are you in?
I'm 20 pages in and I'm stuck.
Oh, I'm a little bit beyond that. But, yeah, I'd be happy to help you with it. I suppose one of the first things you may want to understand is, Dwarven stylism may help you. A lot of what we work with is chisels and cutting very hard materials and the like, so a lot of what we do tends to be straighter lines. I once had a human lad use a very unique term to me that's kind of stuck out. Even our curves are straight lines. He called it Art Deco.
You motherfucker.
He's gonna look at you like you're not yanking my chain, are you?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I guess
What's wrong with your chain?
term of you're joking with me.
How am I joking with you?
Shard, look, there's some things that Shard either catches or she completely misses. So I'm sorry if I again don't understand.
No, it's fine. I'm not a trained artist, but I do appreciate it. At least, I do my best to mimic it with, stone carvings and the sculptures. I understand I'm not one of the greats, but I appreciate them. So here, maybe this will help you. Um, look at say this. He's going to, fiddle through some of the pages and some of his other little carvings as he's showing off his essentially small art collection. Tell me that's not fucking dwarven. Put that shit on like a statue in front of something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Art Deco. I've heard Art Deco described as dwarven architecture, whereas Art Nouveau is Elven.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Huh.
That is, yeah.
I can
Throw in a bit
definitely
of
see it.
brutalism.
Oh yeah, that would will equivalent dwarven.
Dwarf Nouveau.
So he'll go a little bit looking at some of it, and just sort of begin to go over some of the things. And are we spending the evening downtime then reading this book together?
Yeah, but also while he's in the middle of talking, he goes into her bag and brings up a vial that has a little eye on it. I've made this potion. I've only been able to make one currently. But it is a potion of watchful rest.
Oh.
If you basically do anything like light work of reading or something not too strenuous, you would have 8 hours of sleep while still remaining awake. Since I've known you had that trouble going to sleep last time, or actually reverse, not wanting to go to sleep last time with coffee, this would help with that since it's made with coffee, but it's more gentle than drink straight coffee all the time.
Oh.
I hope this will find you well. And he places it on the anvil.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you.
I can't do as much, but I am learning. And I appreciate the time to teach me.
Of course, I'm happy. If you want to, I'd be fine. We can spend time, working and studying this together.
That would be nice, yes.
Alright then. So, throughout the night, the both
Yep.
Oh,
Bellum wants to do a thing.
yeah, go ahead.
So obviously he doesn't spend the entirety of the remainder of the day on that one trinket. So when he finishes up, he has a bit of a break. He will try to find Sao, wherever she may be. Sorry, burpees.
Good question. I don't really know where she would be, but you can probably find her.
Yeah. Time is a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. So, yeah, the Vellum will approach. Well, seems like we're camping and stopping. Did you want to get started on working on your shield? Because I got the base ready.
I would say yes normally, but she sort of gestures around. Perhaps it would be better if we waited just a bit.
Well, I can work anywhere, but if you're sure.
That was just
I'm gonna be working anyway, so off as air.
So I was just giving Vellum a look like, I know you can work everywhere. You said that like a million times.
Well, I mean, just want to make sure. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Bit of a short interaction, but a necessary one. And he will
If you
go
need
off
my
and
help with any minor projects in the meantime, let me know.
I might need your help with something big. I'm getting my to-do list shorter first. Alrighty, now long rest.
Yep, take your long rests.
Long rest button, go.
Eventually, you find yourselves all asleep at one point or another during the evening. And you come to wakefulness, the smell of damp earth still very, very, very present here. And also partially of rot. You come to wakefulness in the what you think is morning. It's very difficult to tell here in the swamps. Canopy blocks out most of the sunlight.
Alshamite always knows the time of day.
I'm trying to picture what an Alshamic dwarf would be like underground.
Probably hate its existence.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, you know, penance or something.
So,
Dude's trying to make a sun under the mountain.
Up
Probably.
the mountain.
we'll make a sun in this foundry.
No, you crazy fool, you'll set us all on fire. I don't care, it's my faith, you can't argue with me about it. Shite, he's got us there.
Cold fusion's not supposed to exist yet.
I'm a dwarf, you think I care?
Use your chin to my balls.
So, what's
This
the...
isn't Friday night, William.
Pure dwarven stubbornness creates cold fusion millennia before its time.
So, what's the plan?
I have prepared locate object.
Okay.
I'm going
My
to wait to see
plan
what
is
they
to
yield.
now do. Yeah, I'm gonna do what every small boy loves. I'm gonna go find a cool looking stick.
I have prepared air bubble.
All right.
Just in case he falls
Oh.
in.
I will grab a shovel. I will grab my cool stick, and I'm going to begin searching. And I guess that air bubble is going to be very useful because it's thrown in the water.
Asked locate object. All right then. You begin to set up the various little bits of the incantation needed to cast locate object. And let me grab the details of that spell real quick. Object. Describe a name or an object familiar to you. Since okay, we can make this work. Within 1,000 feet. It's a lot bigger radius than I was thinking.
It's
Uh,
pretty good.
Okay. Right, so you begin to cast this over the course of... oh, it's just an action. Snap your fingers, holding a holy symbol, to possibly locate another holy symbol. And for
And
the
I'm using not just a holy symbol,
Mhm.
but a forked twig. In this case, he's using a cool-looking stick as a divining rod.
hell yeah.
Normally, he would use his forge pliers,
Hmm.
but he doesn't want to be disrespectful because they're made out of metal. So we found a stick instead.
Gotcha. So you take those two sticks in either hand, you cast that spell. You begin to turn around, you feel this divine sense roll over you. And it's as you turn towards the west, some ways away, a good 800 feet, you get that small blip, and you feel as the twigs in your hand, the branches in your hands kind of twist to form an X.
Huh. So I think I found it.
Seems so. A good 800 feet, which is a lot further than what one would expect for having just thrown something out the window.
And carried
And
by
before he
Rick
finds a
James.
bunch of other holy symbols.
Oh, it's over this way. As he kind of begins heading in that direction, I can feel it. Feel it in my bones. The bones of my hands.
All right, you begin to make your way. It's difficult, kind of trudging a lot across this this swampy terrain. You're having to find.
I could walk on water.
Yeah, you're having to find places where roots and branches sort of make it climbable over the surface of the water. But there are places where there are large gaps of just pure stagnant swamp water. You don't know how deep it is because it is heavily obscured. You might have to find some solutions to try to cross these waters.
I just realized I prepared water breathing instead of water walk.
Oh,
Well,
That's what I'll need.
he'll walk along the bottom.
Yeah, because you mentioned water walk, and I was just like, yeah, I prepared that. And then I scroll down and see water breathing. Like, what the fuck? Well, it's really hard to differentiate them because they're right next to each other. They have the same range and same number of creatures they can apply to. So, well,
go ahead.
Sounds
You know what? You've just gotten up from a long rest. Sure. I will- Oh.
I did specifically want to prepare spells to aid with this.
I will say sure. Go ahead. You can you can have prepared water walking instead of water breathing.
Hey, mistake on my part.
Yeah.
My intention was there.
Yeah, just make sure to double check next time.
Will do.
So you prepare water walking for you and your companion Angus. As you follow him across the surface of the water this time, you see with each step you take there is this subtle glow of sky blue light beneath your feet. Almost sort of mimicking the various bits of bioluminescent fungus and blue fireflies that make that call the swamplands their home. And eventually you continue to make your way through the swamps. You hear the various small creatures that have come to wakefulness alongside you within the morning of the swamplands. You hear these deep croaks from some large distant creature. And you follow that ping, 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 those divining rods beginning to shift you from one direction to another, but it's always generally following in a western direction. Until eventually, you come to the base of a large mangrove tree.
I think it's underneath this tree, tucked away.
Hmm.
Does it seem like it's been moving?
Not moving in any sense, no.
Well, good thing neither water walk nor air bubble is concentration.
Oh, perfect.
There you go then.
Wait, did you water walk Angus?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Did
Holy
you tell him?
shit!
Yeah, you guys have just been walking on the surface of the water.
He just hasn't
Oh,
noticed.
that's so cool.
He's been so focused on the radar, just like, oh no.
All right, so here's where we'll begin to dig. And he goes to slam the tip of his shovel into the soil, and it just splash.
Yep. Yep.
Wait a minute. Bloop. He looks down. He's just little panic. I'm about to drown. Wait, why am I not sinking?
So I just lightly pats him on the back of the head. Just you were so busy trying to locate the object, you didn't even notice, did you?
Yeah, it's like you saw him as he was intently following the divining rods as he was just about to walk off the surface of like a few roots into the water, but then you cast water walking and you just continued on like Mr. Magoo.
I cast water walking on us. You'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, it seems like it's under there.
Alright.
So, how do we want to get to it? Does Grunka still have that flappy cloak that he wore before?
The mantis cloak, you mean? Yeah.
Suddenly, Grunka.
Yes.
I
know.
imagine he's been here.
Yeah.
Always watching. Do you, Gronka, want to take a little peek underneath there and see if you can find it? Because I think that lets you breathe water.
Yes.
I do have a spell for that as well.
Oh,
Alright.
Okay, I'm gonna jump down now. What am I looking for exactly?
wooden skull thingy may have feathers on it.
Wooden
Uh,
skull with feathers. Okay.
All right. So you begin to because you got your ring of water walking on, don't you?
That too.
You just stand there and you just begin to slowly sink beneath the surface of the water like a submarine.
Yeah.
And you dip below the surface into a visage of incredibly murky water. You cannot see, like you cannot see at least within 5 feet of you. It is that densely packed with bits of algae, bits of disturbed mud. But eventually you sink down far enough to where you can start to feel branches beneath your feet.
Oh. How deep did you say?
Right now you're a good 10 feet deep.
That's a deep swamp.
Not really.
I guess I'm just gonna I can't see anything.
You cannot, at least not within, not beyond 5 feet.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have a little look around.
Alright, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Nope, it is very difficult to see anything here. In fact, that probably should have been with disadvantage because it again heavily obscured.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think I can go much lower. So
Mhm.
believe in yourself. Yeah, I can hit that 0. But yeah, no. I guess I'll gonna search for a while and then come up and be like, oh, you know, nothing. Didn't find anything.
Nothing.
Nope, couldn't find it. It's very, very hard to see down there.
Better we try more people then.
Don't you have that spell you like to use that helps you find things?
Yeah, it's saying it's in there.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright, well, you know, maybe it's best if you try and go down here then.
I'll give it a
Yeah.
shot.
Here you go.
Are you-
Grunka hands over the manta ray.
Is it attunement?
Ooh.
That's the good part about it.
Yeah.
But in taking the manta ray thing, Sao will take off her own cloak and just sort of not fully, you know, strip down, but strip down enough that she knows it won't all just get soaked.
Yeah, this water's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the manta ray cloak is probably better suited instead of her normal overcoat.
Probably. Yeah.
And she's
Suddenly,
gonna
all the
cast,
pockets peel off, and then everything explodes into the water.
God.
But I'm also going to cast air bubble around Sao, so she has a globe of clear, visible, you know, stuff instead of just full murk. So that is one of those. I just need to remember to check off the spell slots in case. And I'm also going to use my Gem of Brightness to create an area of light as she swims down.
So there's the difference between like darkness heavily obscuring the area and just silt and sand and that sort of matter causing a heavily obscured area. The light is just going to give you like it's a heavy diffusion of light throughout the entire water here. It is still heavily obscured because of all the plant matter here.
The light is less so to uncover more, it's more so that whatever is nearby enough is visible.
Okay, so anything with like within 5 feet, gotcha.
I could use my Amber Runestone, but it doesn't have as much reach as the Gem of Brightness.
Gotcha. So in that case, go ahead and make me a perception check. This will be with disadvantage.
That is control, right?
Control, yes, with disadvantage. 14. You begin to...
And I'm gonna flash that because I can.
Alright, so 18. 18 is better. You begin to search around. Deep into the roots of this large mangrove tree. You can see these large gaps where you're able to swim into. Trying to find any sort of hint of a thread, a small skull. Again, because he seemed so averse to metal, it's probably you're probably not going to be able to find any sort of metallic glint for a hint of it. So you continue searching.
It's less so for the metallic glint I'm looking for. It's more so an odd shape out of place.
Gotcha.
A symbol of some Bonsala would be out of place amongst more natural roots.
You continue searching. Before you kind of float forward and you bump into something soft and fleshy.
Oh boy, a dead body.
and you open up. You kind of look forward, and a large eye opens up, about the size of a bowling ball, and it's going to take a bite attack on you.
No.
That misses.
Instigators!
I don't think it's a gator.
As a large yawning maw kind of opens up and tries to snap at you, but you swim back just in time, and
How
see
much speed does the manta ray cloak give me again?
how much speed does it give you?
I don't know,
Yeah.
because I don't have the item on me.
Got bubble?
Ask me.
Cloak of the Manta Ray, swing speed of 60 feet.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that'll do.
All right. So what are you doing?
First question. Do I notice how it tries to reach out its maw at me?
Yeah,
Is it like lunging forward, or is it like
it tries to lunge forward at you with this brief snap of its jaws. And as you're going to swim back for a moment, stunned almost at the swift movement, the light then highlights warts, larger warts over slimy skin, a massive toad you've just disturbed. What are you doing?
Magic is probably not going to be that much useful down here. But I think I can scare it off.
Alright.
I have a flaming short sword. I'm not going to try and use it to damage it. I am going to try and use the flaming effect on it to sort of
The
confuse it.
flaming sword?
Yeah, flaming short sword.
Ah, right. Okay.
That's one I've had for a while now. Since we went deep down below.
Okay. So as you pull out the flaming short sword, go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage.
Hell yeah.
18. I will make a wisdom save for this. 17. Immediately, the massive toad begins to blink its eyes rapidly and begins to swim away. Angus, it's moving. Bing.
Oh, no, it's over there now. Careful, it's drifting away. As he says through the earring.
And Sai just responds with, "Oh great, it's been eaten."
What you
Right.
doing?
I'm gonna
It's
follow it,
sw-
of course.
Swimming away into the heavily obscured water filled with dirt and algae and all sorts of nastiness. You begin your pursuit. The massive toad begins to swim upwards, and the rest of you two see, breaking the surface of the water, this massive toad breaks the surface, leaps onto a nearby set of roots about 50 feet away.
Oh my.
Sorry, not 50, 20 feet rather.
I'll give everyone else an action or something to do before I would respond with something if they'd like.
I have an idea for what I'm gonna do. I just need to make sure why I'm not seeing this on my sheet. I'd use my all-purpose tools to give myself Sapping Sting as a cantrip, and I'm gonna use that targeting the toad. Mainly because if it fails, it goes prone.
Gotcha. So what's the save on that?
That's the thing. It used to be on my sheet, but now I can't fucking find it, and I think it's because my all-purpose tool has gotten relocated into one of my bags somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just open
The con save.
Con save, thank you. That's an 8. Fails. You watch as it lands. It seems to lose its footing as you send out this cantrip towards it,
Great.
and it kind of slips up on the root and gets wedged.
It would take 3d4 necrotic and keep prone.
3d4. All right, so 10 points of necrotic damage.
Yep.
Does he even
And-
have like a hold monster?
Whole monster?
I don't-
No. Do I have something that holds a creature?
Are you there though? Did you go with them?
I'm not. No, I don't think so.
This
Unless
is
they
just
were-
Gronka, Angus, and Sarah right now.
Unless someone told me, I'm not there.
They ain't said
Do you want to
shit.
do anything, Grunka?
No, I'm good.
Oh, it's your turn. We're in initiative.
Well, how far away am I from this thing?
It's a good about 20 feet away.
Hmm. I mean, I guess I could. Is it like? I guess it doesn't matter. I can just run everywhere in this dang old swamp.
You're literally Jesus.
Yeah, it's true. I can just do that. I guess I'm just gonna fucking walk up to it and hit it.
It's prone, so have at it.
You can see it
Wow.
flailing its large, bulky, bulbous legs, trying to right itself. You see
Just don't lick it.
its massive underside of its chin swells up with an angry croak.
You can't tell me what to do. It's reckless stomachs.
Oh, Christ.
Recklessly lick the frog.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, it's dead.
Just one shot it.
Yeah,
I think I killed it.
I think you
Nowhere.
killed it.
Frog explodes in fiery gore. I think I killed it.
That's probably exactly what happens. You see its soft underbelly. You take a cleave at it, and you are showered in frog guts.
Jesus Christ. Good job.
Thank you.
How big was this thing?
This was a large creature.
Large creature. Frog legs are on the menu as he begins to walk.
Wow.
You can see little bits of frog
Oh, wait.
slop trailing down the roots of the tree. And so, Ewan, as you approach, you notice something partially jammed within the frog jam, if you will. A partially damaged obsidian pendant.
Sao will
Looks like it's been in there for a
nonchalantly-
while.
Yeah, Sao will nonchalantly just reach into the guts and pick it out.
Gross.
Casting prestidigitation to clean not only her arm but also the pendant.
The smell is foul, as
Oh, I bet.
sizzling and burning frog mess just coats the side of this tree.
Turning slightly to Grunga, she just nods. Well done.
Thank you. Just completely covered in gore.
And with that, Sao will return to Angus, holding out the pendant in hand.
As Sa walks away, Grunka's very slowly sinking into the water.
He just dips under and dips up again to clean himself. Is that it?
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like dip down in the water and then it's gonna move a little bit and then dip up so it doesn't just go back up in the gore again.
Nothing cleaner than swamp water.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good enough for a frog is good enough for me.
So, I'd like Sayun and Grunko to make me con saves, please.
Oh boy.
Time to trip balls. You're no fun.
And I'm gonna flash that into a 20 because I sure as shit ain't gonna trip balls.
Oh no.
Okay.
But it's funny when Grunka does.
Time for Grunka's bad enough. Do we want drug trip Grunka? Drugka.
Right, good to know. What are you doing now?
Probably heading back home.
Okay. You head back towards camp with holy symbol proudly in your hand. So you, I imagine, returning this to Antazul as well.
Mm-hmm.
You see him in the hut, kind of talking to Huitzel for the moment. He's definitely lightened up, shall we say? Definitely softened to your presence here. Oh, did you find it? Kind of looks to the
So
object in your hands.
Sao sort of holds it up and lets it dangle from her fingers. Just ta-da! It was swallowed by a giant toad.
Well, that would that'd be explaining why I couldn't find it for so long. Quick, I'll give it to you. I can finally help you with this boat business.
And she'll gently hand it over.
All right. Where's the? There we go. So he Antazul kind of journeys back out of his hut to the rest of you. His holy symbol held up high. Right. Who's going to help me?
Sao sort of looks to Angus for a moment before she raises her hand.
Angus will also raise his hand.
The Jarl will also raise her hand.
Right. Going to need some raw materials. Gather some raw wood, anything that you can, and we can begin. Alright, so the process of crafting the, or rather repairing the two boats here, it's begins with the gathering of materials. Antazul, despite his age, he moves with surprising confidence, kind of leading you to various locations around the swamp surrounding his hut, collecting the various necessary components. He instructs you on what to look for: sturdy cypress wood from the surrounding trees, vines for binding, a particular type of resin that will make the boat that will kind of repair the boat, make it more waterproof. And back at the dock, the work begins. You organise all these materials together, and he begins to stand in the centre of the materials, holding his holy symbol in one hand. This intricately carved piece of obsidian, adorned with marigold petals and inlaid with tiny shimmering gemstones, like a small grinning skull with eyes that seem to glow faintly. A delicate balance between beauty and the macabre. raises his holy symbol, there's this soft ethereal light that emanates from it, casting this gentle glow over the gathered materials here. The air around him seems to shimmer slightly as he works, and his eyes focused, his movements deliberate. He mutters under his breath, invoking some sort of prayer that reverberates with a subtle power. And gradually, the raw materials begin to reshape themselves, covering parts of the boat that have taken some amount of damage over the years, as if guided by some invisible force. Wood patches bends, forming the shapes of the boat that might patch some of the areas, sealing them seamlessly. The surface becomes more smooth and polished than it once was, as if years of craftsmanship have gone by in mere moments. As the hull begins to repair itself, Antazul kind of steps back and gestures for you all to help flip the boat upright. All boats, multiple. Following his lead, you kind of lift the vessels, gently place them into the waters beside the others, and it floats effortlessly. And
Smacks the boat. Yeah, that's a good boat right there.
not quite complete just yet. And he begins to turn his attention to the finer details. He carves intricate, ritualistic patterns into the wood, symbols of protection and guidance. While it seems, the spell doesn't inherently enchant the boat, these symbols are more likely for religious and ritual purposes. And then, after a good hour or so, all the boats now complete. Not only functional, but effectively both of them works of art, imbued with a sense of reverence and care. Throughout the process, Antazul's demeanour has sort of shifted from the gruff, suspicious hermit to a more amicable master craftsman, fully in his element. It's this subtle and sort of profound transformation. With the two boats now ready, Antazul kind of turns to all of you. There's that brief hint of a smile on his weathered face, which is then quickly squashed. There you go. These boats will serve you well. Treat them with respect, and take you where you need to go. Provided you got a suitable guide. And he turns his eyes towards Talali.
She wiggles her eyebrows.
I think we'll be fine.
Kind of counts you all for a moment. I don't know if this will be enough for all of you. Some of you might have to squeeze. And he looks pays in particular attention to Liska.
Liska gets like 3/4
She a
of the
big
boat
bitch.
to herself.
Yeah, she's a.
She's wearing
Liska probably
adamantine
shares her
layered
boat
armor.
with. Yeah, she's probably sharing her boat with Angus and Grunka because they're the smaller of the lot.
I mean, you are wearing full plates, so
Each of these boats will either house 4 medium creatures or 1 large creature. So, what you could do, Angus, is utilize your own method of crafting here. Craft an extra boat.
or a sidecar.
Oh yeah, there you go. The sidecar. The sidecar to a boat.
Yeah.
A smaller attached boat.
Yeah.
Catamaran.
Yeah,
At
we
Moray.
make 2 sidecars, and there we go. We've added extra capacity.
Angus is doing a very big think right now. Very big think. Question.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna turn to Huitzel These are works of art. Now, obviously, these are grand, but now I'm curious. What did you have in mind that would have improved them?
Well, I made the suggestion to introduce some metal rivets to further enhance the sturdiness of them. But I have learned, and he kind of turns towards Antazor. I've learned that perhaps the old ways have succeeded for quite a long time for good reason.
He sort of thinks. What sort of metal were you thinking about using?
Probably something non-corrosive. I'm steel. I'm not a metal worker myself.
You know what might be even better? Something more humble. Something like copper. If you were to use copper as a metal, you see, it's a rather interesting one. It's one that works in harmony. It's something that's sort of its own. I mean, our lad over there, as he points over to Vellum, would be able to tell you a lot more of it, but on a spiritual level, copper it's fundamental. It's something that's taken right from the soil, something that can be melted and shaped, and it hardens under hammer strikes, under wear. Rather than cracking, it grows more sturdy. It's quite a nice material. And, well, mayhaps it might strictly be, or might not strictly be, only wood. It could be a way to reinforce ships that need a larger sort of cargo. And he looks to Liska.
To respect your trying to help me in this, but Tazol is very, very prejudiced against metal. He made a pact with this swamp to only use the materials that it provides.
You can see he smirks. I promise you there's metal here.
I would not know.
Question: Can Sao overhear this? Just casually asking.
Oh, he's not making anything subtle of it. He's speaking in a way so the other gentleman could hear, so the boatmaster could hear. Specifically to say, hey, what you did works, but there's some merit that could be.
Wow, that is perfect irony.
Wow.
I think there's metal in the swamp until I was just like, let's go look.
The exact same
I
metal.
found copper.
What are the fucking
Wow.
odds?
Exactly the one they were talking about.
I was gonna have Sao sort of chime in with, maybe we could do something akin to what they do back home with wooden joineries. Because
Yeah,
let's be real
I
here.
guess you could use wooden joinery is pretty widespread in.
Very strong.
Yeah.
That's probably what he used to make some of this work, to be honest. If he's not using anything other than glue, he has to have joinery to keep it together.
Probably the only thing the glue
God,
is actually
Talali
good
getting
for,
the cover.
probably the only thing the glue is actually good for is water sealing it.
Yeah. He'll go up. Does Talali like return with the copper?
I'll say that Twali just casually like I'm trying to picture how this would go down because it was just
It's like you probably have to go like under the water to find that shit. I'll be honest.
yeah. I think Talali's just gonna.
She's
sit there and-
walking on the water. She looks down. Oh, look.
Just curious,
It's
like, I
right
wonder
there.
if there is
It's under
metal
your
here,
house.
and then goes to find some.
No, yeah, I think like the whole thing goes down and Angus is like, oh yeah, that it might be copper. And then she's gonna be like, Kind of looks around, and then you just see her hand dart down to the water, and then come back up with just some copper in her hand. Like,
I knew it.
looks like we found some. Looks like we found some copper.
That was prophetic. That really was.
And then she's just gonna like casually toss it to Angus and be like,
Yeah,
"You have no need of it, but it seems like you were trying to make a point."
I'm gonna kind of look at his boat, and he's gonna think a little bit. You know, he's gonna try and mimic some of the designs that he has, like with the wood. He's not gonna be able to make it quite as artistic and beautiful, but he's gonna take the same core principle of what he has for this boat and what's done with the wood, right? And he's going to attempt to translate that with copper.
Okay.
And essentially make a thinner copper boat.
All right.
With he'll throw wood stuff in there as well, so it's not just copper.
And
But he's going to use his grand fabricate to do that.
all right. So, like, is he gonna chuck the copper towards Angus? Angus looks over his shoulder like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
It was, interesting thing about this. You can find copper in many places, dry lands, wetlands. It's a great foundational material. Where soil tends to erode away, you can find copper holds things together. It's actually a material, and many ores, that trees are able to find their foundations
Just make
on.
your boat. Just make your boat.
I'll make the boat.
I'll make them.
But I'm gonna make it the way you make it, the way I make it.
All right, whatever.
And he will
He grumbles
He
as he
will-
makes his way back up into his hut.
we're all right then, lads. Time to get going. And he's going to begin casting fabricate, as there will be a series of little dwarven crafter ghosts, some deck hands that will come along, a bunch of carpenters, and his fabricate spell is the spiritual manifestation of all these ancestors coming along and all beginning to work these ethereal and physical materials, taking the spirit of the copper and the spirit of the wood, begin reshaping it as the material itself begins coalescing, as there's this miniature, not quite assembly line, but sudden boisterous creation of it. It's like a workshop or an entire boatyard that comes to be. Ghosts walking along waters, some walking up through the waters carrying materials and bits of dead wood and all these kinds of things, using what is immediately around and the raw resources to put together very similar to what he has. Maybe it's a little flatter on the bottom. But it's this not rotted, but like this dead wood sort of boat in the same basic shape, plated with copper to protect it from erosion and the wear and the acidity of the bog, just as an outer shell with little bits of rivets here and there to help it going, making the most of the material as a casing to support a good foundation that is his design.
You can see all throughout this, Antazul is kind of sort of sat on his porch, arms folded, just watching the events take fold. Oddly enough, he doesn't seem phased by the spectral ancestors doing your bidding, Angus, in the construction of this boat. And eventually, after finishing this vehicle, he gives a suspicious and He seems impressed, but doesn't want to admit it. He just gives a grouched nod.
Thou just sort of walks up to him and just leans slightly in while looking at the boat as well. Just don't worry. He can be like that. He means well. I would have suggested trying out my own culture's traditional wooden joineries, but he wanted to prove a point.
He kind of subtly goes into his pocket, pulls out another one of those sticks, munches on it. Certainly he'd be a craftsman, I give him that.
He does prefer his own cultural style of crafting, but he is willing to learn. He does like translating over new methods into his work. I will
Right.
say, I've never actually seen boats made this way before. That's interesting.
Different flavour, I suppose. Kind of glances down towards the skewer, and he gives another munch.
Very much a different flavor.
Different strokes for different folks.
So you headed out.
Soon enough. Thank you, by the way. I didn't mean it.
So, oh, sorry, go ahead. Just before we leave on your big narrative moment, he did want to talk to the druid.
Yeah.
I've been doing some stuff and talking a bit. Anyone else want to chime in? Share the limelight?
I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
really have anything to really add or contribute or focus on in this moment. It's kind of why I've been a bit quiet.
If we, I guess if we are leaving, like if we're about to head on out, while Liska's in the background trying to figure out how to get into a boat by herself, Claw is just gonna go up to their host and kind of like while he's kind of watching the party get ready to depart, this Logan's like, it's been quite an experience. All these voices and jokes and happiness happening around here, huh?
Been a strange couple days. I'll tell you that much.
Let me tell you what. How about instead of having the priest come to you, why not every so often you go to them? Get yourself out of this house, out of this dark parts of the swamp. Have some, how'd you put it, city food at the temple. Yeah?
There's this long pause. He thinks to himself and he furrows his brow. I'll be thinking about it. And through that you can tell he seems cautiously convinced.
Kalai is just gonna give him a little wink, and then not saying anything else, just kind of head to the boats.
Alright.
Angus is helping everyone get set up, and all right, here we go.
Right,
Give it a good old push and 3, and throw it off into the water.
right, so how many are you? There's Valdemir, there's Fritzl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's the
6.
giant Triceratops. There's so much.
So
You can swim.
4 to a boat. 1, 2.
I think Grunka could feasibly get in with Liska.
Plus, some of you can walk on water, and
He's a small
these
creature.
and boats, rowboats have like a speed of 15 feet. So some of you could feasibly walk alongside them. I think.
I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
fine.
You gotta remember, also,
so-
water walking, the spell is only an hour.
Oh, okay. But you
I
have
mean, but doesn't Grogu have the ring?
yeah, the ring. And
No,
Talon can
let's
just do monk shit.
And just do monk shit. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
hard.
It's just monk shit. You know?
Yeah, monk
That's
shit.
my favorite part about monks in out of combat things. The moment they get the ability to walk on water, they can just casually stroll.
So
You have to catch the scroll.
so
Just
effectively,
take your monk shit.
2 people, 3 people could like you could feasibly have like 3 people per boat, and have Liska take one to herself,
That works.
while the other 2
That would probably be best.
while the other 2 probably pushing them.
Pushing. Oh, what, suddenly
Nah.
Grunka and Tlali are beasts of burden? What the fuck?
I mean, they could, but
Yeah, you are a beast of burden.
if
You
you
have to
wanna-
put up with us.
want to do like long sticks to push yourselves along, sure. You could probably find.
How dare you? How dare you?
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
That's a bullshit. So, Angus is gonna find a way around that. Don't you worry. Angus would.
He just manufactures an onboard motor.
I was thinking a big fan that's either pedal powered or works off of steam. Like have a heat metal rune on essentially what would be like, a fucking
Yeah,
a little
Like-
boiler,
yeah.
and just
Like
steam
a
just moves the fan.
steamboat.
Reminds me of those
steam
little
powered.
toy. Reminds me of those little metal
Mm.
toy boats.
Right.
Yeah, the little poppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we
It's a shame
can,
that they're-
so
shame they're
who's
already working
like
larger
what's
scale,
what's the rowing order here?
I know.
Angus is gonna take his cool boat.
A
course.
shiny boat.
You're gonna go ahead, go out in
Oh,
front.
it's even got a fucking texture and everything. Look at Mr.
I
Lottie
will
Dog.
say that. To be
Yeah.
honest, I feel like. Oh no, Liska can fit in the regular boats. I'll say,
Kalali being able
since-
to walk on water, she could probably just take lead.
oh yeah, she's gonna be leading everybody, but I'm
Yeah, she's not in a
thinking
boat.
that
She can walk.
Oh,
with,
they even talk.
I think Liska would probably be in the middle because she wouldn't be leading, but if she was behind everybody, since she's rowing and you have to look away from where you're going to row, it would probably just behoove her to have someone be able to tell her where she's going, while also still be rowing.
Yes, Antazul will be on your boat, Angus and Sagan. Sagan, given that you're proficient with water vehicles, we can say you're probably doing the rowing here.
Yay. Probably me and
Time for
the
Vellum to drive again.
That would seem to be the case.
What could go wrong?
Ang-
The man from
Angus
the
is-
desert.
Going to be tinkering.
To be fair, he came from a port town, so it's not too unlikely.
True.
No, it's not.
Can we switch spaces with Sao, and so she'd be in the middle near the oars?
Mm-hmm.
On.
Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah. Oh dear.
Thrown him on top of
Oh,
it.
you just want to sit next to me, don't you?
Maybe.
Turbulence.
Everyone does.
Not the flies down my throat.
There we go.
There we go. So, with that, you turn your focus ahead. Antazul.
Was Antzul coming? Because you said he was getting in the boat.
Oh no, Huitzul, not Antazul.
There you go.
Antazul.
Okay.
Just.
I was like, why is he coming?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's welcome to, but
We convinced him to.
Antazul
Very good.
gives you one last look as you to make your way out into the swamp proper on your newly found boats.
before we
Vellum's-
do leave,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Vellum.
I was about to say Vellum's rowing, so he should probably be in the middle. And Snet could be up front, probably.
Okay.
I feel like Snake would probably just be in most of the boat.
Damn it, I was
Yeah.
gonna make that joke.
It's
You
more
were
where
too
her
late for
torso
that.
is. Her tail's
8%
everywhere.
ass.
Yeah, just fucking
Yeah.
So,
trail her tail
what
and a
you
big
gonna-
loop around it.
what are you going to say, Atlas?
Gonna see. Call out to Antazul. Oh, by the way,
He
and he's gonna
turns around as he's about to head back into his hut.
reach out and he's gonna pull out the green heart. I managed to save this from quite the wooded, ley-lined, attuned place. It was being taken by corruption, but they survived. He's gonna give a little underhand chuck of it over to him.
Fetches it out of the air with surprising speed. And he examines it for a moment, and there's this look of realization about what this is. A green heart.
You seem the kind of lad that would make best use of it. Who knows? Maybe you could use it to make you a friend. Or an equal protector. I'm excited to see what you'll have done with it when I next return.
His gaze lingers on it for a moment more. Well, thank you for this
You're welcome.
and the company.
He'll just kind of heft his shield and show the face. If you ever need company again, Silverhearth Clan's home is always welcome and open to you.
He gives you a nod. A respectful nod. You've definitely rubbed off on him a little bit.
All right then, lads. Everyone's set to go.
Alright. You turn your focus ahead. Antazul's gaze lingers on you all as you begin to make your way out into the Tanzan swamplands that stretch out before you. This vast, mysterious expanse of water and foliage. Sounds of the jungle fade. And so does the sight of Antazul and his hut. Replaced by the quiet lapping of water against the boat. Navigate through the twisted roots and hanging vines. The path forward, illuminated by the bioluminescent fungus, and faint light filters through the canopy. You push off from the relatively solid ground, the world around you changes, the canopy closes in, the air grows thicker with humidity. Faint mist clings to the water's surface, swirling gently as your boats cut through the stillness. The silence is punctuated only by the occasional call of a distant bird or the splash of something slipping into the water. The light grows dim, filtered through the heavy canopy and the ever-present mist. Shadows almost play tricks on your eyes, making it difficult to distinguish between solid ground and water. The trees, draped in moss and vines, loom over you, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The water beneath your boats is dark and murky, hiding the depths below. Occasionally you catch, especially you, Talali, walking on the water here, and so you kind of occasionally glance over the edge of the boat. A flash of scales, or the ripple of something small passing by, or a fleeting fleeing the disturbance of the water. And you know this all too well, Talali. The swamp, deceptively still as it is teeming with unseen life. Quite the inversion from the Mormog. It's careful work navigating through the swamp. Your long poles to push your boats forward, feeling, or your oars, of course, feeling for solid ground below the water. The pungent smell of decaying vegetation fills your nostrils, mingling with the fresh scent of the swamp's greenery. The environment's becoming a bit more foreboding. The mist is thickening. The trees grow closer together, roots forming this tangled maze above and below the water. And as the hours go by, the air grows thick with the buzzing of insects. You find yourselves having to swat away large, incessantly fluttering flies and mosquitoes the size of your thumbs. It's the humidity here is almost unbearable as you sweat in your armors, especially those of you who are used to used to colder temperatures.
I'm fine. I've got a pendant.
Yeah, indeed.
Sucks to be the rest of you.
So I'd like all of you to make Constitution saving throws.
Do I need to?
Except Talali and Gronka. Oh, sorry, no, Gronka as well.
Do I need to?
Yes, you need to.
Alrighty.
Was it?
Who's
Did I
related
need
to
to?
heat?
What
Yes.
is this for?
This is you find out. It's everyone except Talali.
If it's related to heat, could I get advantage?
It's not related to heat. No.
Alrighty. What? Oh no.
So the
That's not a good sign.
Okay.
Two fighters rolling low.
I'm pretty good with con. What's going on?
All right. Good to know.
This gonna be interesting.
Just gonna. Sorry, just give me a sec here. That's fine. Okay, continuing through the swamp. As you navigate through the murky waters of the Tanzan swamplands, the dense fog, thick overhanging foliage creates this barrier around your vision. The eerie silence of the fog is only occasionally broken by unseen movements, some sort of swamp-dwelling creature. But you see this first as you're up ahead, Tlali. You catch sight of something drifting slowly across the water. A small shadowed form, barely visible in the distance.
Can I guess, keep an eye out for it just to see? Like, does it seem like it's actively moving, or is it just kind of sitting there floating?
It actually seems like it's actively moving. Make a perception check.
Show her.
16.
Jeez, rolled a 3. Oh.
Still 3 with a 16 with a 3. It's pretty decent. At first, it seems like it's nothing more than a simple boat adrift. But as you continue your approach, you notice that the boat seems to be slowly moving through the water, as if guided by some unseen force. You know what these are. It's a small boat itself is covered like a basket lid, covering the boat like a shroud.
Oh, is this a kind of funeral barge, or?
Like he said earlier.
You've seen, you know what these are, yes. And the details of this drifting boat become clearer as you draw nearer. The entire thing is crafted from heavy reeds, long grasses woven tightly together. It has the shape of a small boat, about 7 feet long, maybe 3 feet wide, but has the construction of an enormous basket, complete with a lid that's been tied onto the top of it. Looks worn, weathered by exposure to the elements. There's a hole in one side of the lid, but looks relatively fresh in its construction.
I don't think the occupant is that fresh.
Do it's, I guess, moving in the water. Is it moving on its own?
Yeah, it's moving on its own. You've seen these things move on their own before.
Okay, can you DM me to be less,
Sorry.
opaque? Because while Tlali might know, player doesn't.
Correct. Let me go ahead and do this.
Okay. She is, I guess, how does she feel about this? How quickly is it moving? Is it moving about the same speed that we're going,
Oh,
or
no.
are we
It's
kind of catching up to it?
you're definitely catching up to it. These things move quite slowly through the swamp.
Okay.
One might even say deathly slow.
Yeah, so she's going to, she's gonna kind of give it a look, and just slightly adjust the course of the party so they, like, there would be one, maybe 2 trees between them and the boat whenever they pass it. Not gonna mention it, but just kind of move.
Respectfully go around.
Yeah.
All right. You begin to inch your way around the boat, making sure not to disturb its path with the ripples of your own boats as it passes. Continue on your way. As the hours stretch on. Do something.
Secrets and lies.
Secrets and lies.
We got love, some secrets and lies.
Heard a lot of dice. Didn't see a lot of dice.
Me hear dice, me no see dice. Ugh, unfortunate.
The
What
air
was the
is-
result of that con save, by the way? Has that been established yet?
Not yet.
The air is rather thick with humidity.
Oh, I'm gonna
Swamp.
put the mask up then.
Alright. Swamp is alive with the sounds of chirping insects, the distant croaking of frogs. The surrounding water is still. Dark mirror reflecting the twisted roots and hanging vines that surround you. Sometimes you catch glimpses of movement beneath the surface of the water from a small creature or two. It's impossible to tell the exact shapes as you enter into a wider, larger expanse of stagnant water surrounded on all sides by large mangroves. It's almost tranquil, in a way. The water surface broken except for the occasional ripple from a passing fish. Almost soothing.
If it even is a fish.
Lolly.
Question everything, trust nothing.
Yes.
And then for a moment the water ahead seems to move against whatever slight current there might be. Some sort of shape just lurking beneath the surface. And the surrounding water shimmers slightly, revealing the outline of something very massive. And it disappears beneath the water's surface.
That's right, you better run. Could I potentially, like,
Do you want a perception check?
yeah, I was gonna say perception or like nature, just to see what I can figure out what that might have been.
Sure. Either a perception or probably a perception check would be easier here.
Agreed.
32. You saw massive armored scales, and it almost reminds you of what Grunker dragged into the camp, but much larger.
We about to Lake Placid this shit.
The boat, the front boat, just behind you, Talali, rocks violently as something powerful slams into the side, sending a shockwave through the vessel. The impact is jarring, and let's see, Velum, Dejar, and Vladimir all need to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, motherfucker.
With advantage, because I think Talali would have probably seen this and pointed this out.
Yeah,
okay,
I didn't know if
right?
it was like super far in front or if it was like literally right at my feet. So yeah. But if she thought like, oh, it's a threat, she would have 1,000% like,
Mhm.
there's something,
Yep,
like,
yep,
something big in the water.
yep.
The
Alrighty.
advantage is,
So everyone
It's
gets
not
an
a leap of
advantage?
logic that our guide would inform us about the environment.
Yes.
So
So
everyone in this boat gets advantage?
yes. Not everyone has to make a dexterity saving throw. It's just the front boat, and with advantage.
Okay.
That was...
Vitamin-
Oh,
I
okay,
forgot-
I'm
I forgot
fucked.
to hold alt. I'm stupid.
I'm fucked. Never mind.
Let me try that again.
Oh, dear.
14, that's better.
Group fuck.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Gang bang in the
What
front
about
boat,
Vitamin?
guys.
Oh,
Everybody.
the shark
is,
goes. I got nope.
Luckily, Vadmia is at least very ambidextrous than them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vitamin's a little better.
Yeah, she's light on her feet.
Yeah, I have no feet.
Dejar, you are sent flying over the side of the bow, plunging into the water
Well-
below.
The boog.
You see, just for the briefest of moments, a massive shape just swimming about 5 feet out from your vision. Massive armored scales. These tiny stubby
Yeah.
legs. And a large scaly tail.
The Yar is going to swim up and cast fucking fly when he
So,
breaks the surface.
before that happens, we'll end it here.
Hook.
Cliffhanger.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. Fuck.
Yeah.
Was she the only one that fell off?
Yep, the only one that fell off. Vellum
Sucks.
just managed to scrape by with a 14.
Alright.
Eh, pretty snake go down and become a very fancy bauble. That's unfortunate.
If I swear, if this turns out to be like the fish we fought in the arena. The
I
second you
think
said
it's worse.
armored scales, I'm like,
That would be hilarious.
Well, at least we know how to kill it.
Said it was similar to. You're reminded of what Grunker pulled out from the. Well, pulled back to camp.
Oh, okay, so like just a big armored gator.
Bigger croc, yeah.
Bigger croc. Giga croc, I
Please
would
see
say.
the chat.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
that's,
yes.
that's
Relevant.
what Jar saw underneath the water. Unfortunate. I need to get out. Fast.
Alright, I'm going to
Reminds me of that one time.
stop recording. 3, 2, 1, boop.